The alternative reality to execution for the spiritual life of the inmate is exactly what I have experienced in ministering to men and women with life in prison for years, before coming to death row and since coming to death row. It is not as though the execution makes it easier for them to focus on God. It's actually a distraction, because during the time until they get a warrant, instead of focusing on their relationship with God and what they can do with their life in God, they're focusing on dealing with their lawyers, trying to get rid of the threat of an execution. So I always had heard before coming into death row ministry, well, the threat of an execution brings people to God. No, it doesn't. It brings them to their lawyers to fight not having an execution. If I come to prison and expect I'm going to be there the rest of my life or most of my life, when I get to prison, I say, well, what do I do now? If I come to death row, I say, how do I get off death row? It's actually a distraction and a drain on their energy to be fighting the death sentence instead of immediately getting involved with, how do I spend the rest of my life in prison, or however many years he will be there or she will be there. And I want to tell you, I've had so many men who told me that it was years after they came to death row, after the drugs and the lifestyle and their childhood and their experiences had finally drained out of their system, before they were able, with a clear head, to think about God. The Pope's approach is to allow every man and woman, even if they've committed horrible crimes, to have all the time God gives them to come to God.